After 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Jacob Roebuck back with us. Morning, sir. How you doing today?
Good morning. I am fantastic. I'm awake. I'm here.
That's a start.
Us creative guys, we like staying up working. We start.
You're night owls.
Yeah, we start work at like 7 p.m.
Yeah, the juices flow in the evening.
And then, about 3 o'clock, we kind of fade off and then get up whenever,
Whenever you're allowed to, basically.
Yeah.
Sleep as late as you're allowed to. But yeah, I had to get up a little early this morning.
Which is all right. It's all right. It was weird. It was 8 o'clock. I was driving over here and there was traffic.
Yeah, that happens at 8 a.m.
Apparently, there's an 8 a.m. rush.
Yeah.
Maybe something to do with school or something. I don't know.
Yeah, kids, they insist on going to work and school and all this stuff.
So it was great.
But when you're not hustling, bustling, living your busy lives, Jacob likes to give you things to do when you got downtime
We
going on.
sure do.
That's kind of where he likes
yeah.
to specialize. Obviously, probably your biggest attraction everyone knows you for is the Roswell Christmas Railway.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which we got some exciting news to talk about that as well here. But before we get into that, let's talk about your latest invention or idea to come to Roswell here.
It's interesting because Christmas Railway has birthed two attractions. We have Spaceport Roswell, which is the virtual reality attraction downtown, and that started as we were experimenting with VR as a exhibit there at Christmas Railway, and then it came out. Well,
it was fun. I remember that first year you started doing VR and getting the chance to see that little circle and just kind of and obviously that was early in the VR game too. So even from that little deal you did a couple years ago, it's a lot more advanced now.
Yes, it does keep moving on. Obviously the most important thing, whether it's new technology, old technology, somewhere in between, it's about telling a great story.
Sure.
So that's
using the technology to add to that.
Yes. Yeah. It's ultimately that's what we want to do. So I've always wanted to have model trains at Christmas Railway, and model trains are more difficult than they might appear because the trains themselves, the track gets dust on them and they don't want to go and whatever. And
they're very persnickerty when it comes to the conditions.
Can be. Yeah. And so I guess it was last Christmas. It was last Christmas. We said, hey, let's try Lego trains this year because why not?
Yeah.
Let's see if Lego trains do better. And we built the Lego display. We called it Bricktown. Bank of the Southwest sponsored it. And it was awesome. Everybody loved it. We I can't remember how many Legos were in that original display, but it was about 4 foot by about 20 feet.
Okay.
So it was a pretty big display that we had out there at Christmas Railway. And then we have all these Legos and we're like, well, what are we going to do with them? And of course, the obvious answer is let's add more Legos to them.
Right. Let's get more.
We
basically created a Lego universe.
Yeah, we said, hey, you know what? This is a lot of fun. People really enjoyed it. And we then proceeded to work out with right there next to us at Spaceport Roswell. There's an old gas station that Maddox Hobbs had remodeled and used. He used occasionally for events there at the High Q, but not a lot. And so I said, hey, let me use that space and put this up. So we ended up building. It's Bricktown. We call it Bricktown Alien Attack because you want to have that alien.
Well, it is Roswell, New Mexico,
Roswell,
and people aren't coming here for Christmas stuff in July.
No, they aren't. And so Bricktown Alien Attack, and it is we have 5 displays there that make up the exhibit.
Okay.
And it's 250,000 Legos.
Woof.
There's probably about 15,000 little lights that light it all up. And there's some interactivity to it. So it's quite a little impressive.
So who's
setup.
Is it you creating these different scenes, or is it a team of people?
It's a team. It's a team.
Like whose vision is it that when you because obviously you just can't have a pile of Legos and say,
well, that's what we did. No.
There's got to be some planning. And all right, we're going to make this a crash scene or whatever.
Sure.
And then you're like, all right, well, I'm going to need and I know Legos are a little bit more advanced than when I was a kid. There's more than just the 3-1, the 2-1, the 1-1. There's a lot more specific shapes and things
Oh,
now.
there's
So
hundreds of thousands of parts.
Who's that creative person that puts all the things together and designs?
It's a team effort. You know, we kind of picked what we wanted to do. Of course, the main display is Bricktown Alien Attack, and
Gotcha.
so Bricktown is a city that we built. And I guess kind of for starters, you start with some of the more, let's call them the stock Lego models, right?
Gotcha.
Like, so Lego has several. They've got lots of different lines of Legos. You know, and they definitely have a city series. You know, if you're into Legos, they call them modular buildings.
Okay.
And so we bought every single modular building that we could find.
Gotcha.
But then if you go, there's probably thousands and thousands of different people who design. They fancy themselves Lego designers, and so they design different plans that are available online.
Okay.
And then there are marketplaces online where you can, okay, here's the plans. Just like building a house, you buy all the materials you need.
Sure.
You can go and buy all the Legos you need to build a particular design.
Gotcha.
You know, the biggest building we have is 5 feet tall.
Wow.
You know, and
That's taller than some people, by the way.
Yes,
right
it is. And it's made up of about 16,000 Legos.
Ooh.
Just that one building alone. So there's that. You know, of course, then we had all the trains, stuff like that. Also, too, we go back because Legos are collectibles. And I tell you what, I didn't know this, but if you're trying to diversify your portfolio, there's a lot of people who invest in Legos, and it kind of seems a little weird. But then you think about it's not any worse than investing in Bitcoin, right?
And you
it's
think
just
about
nothing, which is just numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
At least at the end of the day, if the value goes down, well, you at least get some Legos to play with.
Well, if someone's willing to buy something that you have, then it's got value to it, you know, and that's at the end of the day, that's how it works. But I mean, even in the world of Lego, I mean, I know there's a show on Fox during the summers.
Oh yeah,
that it's literally Lego building competitions, and it's not like children. These are adults that have been doing this for a long time. They're better parts of their lives and doing. Basically, these are folks that enjoyed Lego so much as a kid that they've taken it to the 12th level here, and now we're experiencing that where we're getting to do these things and have these things on TV, but just be able to create museums and places to go, meccas to go for people to come and see these creations. It's almost turning into its own art medium in and of itself.
Absolutely.
Is Lego, you know?
Absolutely, and certainly there's a lot of creativity and fun involved, and it's in our sort of politicized world, it's kind of a nice thing to be able to share with people.
Absolutely.
People to be creative and get together. So we've got the Bricktown, which is huge. But now part of this, of course, is that the aliens are attacking it. So
you got to create some.
So we've got. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 8 flying saucers and probably about, I don't know, 50 or so little aliens that are like attacking the city. It's kind of has the Mars Attacks type feel to it.
Is it the Mars Attack aliens? Did Lego come up with those?
Lego had an Alien series back. I think it was 2010.
Okay.
It was called Alien Attack. And so you can, if you're willing to spend enough money, you can go online and find people who are selling their old sets. And so that's what we did. Is we
just
went,
pick them up that way.
We just went because you can't. There's no other way to get them.
Yeah.
People come in and they ask, "Can we buy one of these Alien sets?" And I'm like, "You can. If you can find one, go for it."
we had a heck of a time trying to get a hold of this one.
So yeah.
Does it get into a world where you have to customize parts and things? Does it ever get to there? Or is there pretty much apart from everything you know?
There are so many parts. I think the only thing that, as far as like people like 3D printing parts, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, like if you have to, I have a vision, but there's not really a kit for it yet.
Probably, I think the most 3D stuff that I've seen in Lego World is done in the train world.
Okay.
It's done with like if there's not a shape of a train track that you want, because Lego's a fairly limited amount of train pieces. But other than that, no. There are so many. You'd be surprised.
You just don't need to.
Yeah, there are. Just
Are they getting into motion and stuff with Legos too, or is it still?
So Lego has, for probably a couple of decades now, they've got a line called Technic.
Okay. Yes, I've heard of that.
Yes, and
it's like for the older kids.
They do have motors, and you can build robots. And the trains use Technic engines to move them.
I didn't know if there was some movement to some of this Lego stuff in there.
So we've done a little bit with that. Of course, we have 1,000 ideas we want to keep adding to it.
Sure.
So I need more people to come buy tickets so I can spend more money and
I would imagine
feed my habit.
You have the same problem that our model train guys have out at at the fairgrounds, and it's like, all right, do I have enough room, and where do I want? Because they're never done in there. It looks amazing in there, but they're never ever finished. They're always adding, changing, and Bricktown's probably exactly the same. Where after a while, after this thing's been here a while, you're like, you know what? I'm tired of looking at this. We're gonna redo it this way, and or create maybe different themes. They're like, hey, we're gonna go with this.
Yeah, so we do have. So we've got the city. We've got here's a huge pirate display. There is Apollo 11.
Oh, nice.
Where you've got the moon
very
surface.
Apropos right now with Artemis and everything else going on. Yeah.
Apollo 11. That's probably my favorite model. Where we have the Apollo rocket, which is a stock model. The rocket itself is a stock model. It's actually the tallest model Lego makes.
Nice. But it's basically a Saturn V rocket.
Saturn V rocket.
Yeah.
And then, there's a guy who designed the LUT, the tower.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
And so
the actual launch pad.
And so it's kind of funny. So I went on Etsy and bought from him. I can't remember. It was probably like $100. I bought the plans to do that, and then it was like I want to say it was 10,000 pieces. And it was brutal to build that thing. It was super complex, but it's super detailed too. It's all the little pipes running down, and then you look at a picture of it like, wow, this looks.
So was this like family night? Were you and the family were just, all right, we're going to work on a building tonight, and we or was it more bigger than that?
Like family week,
family week,
month,
okay,
family year. No, I
didn't know if you had like was it like, hey, the kids, bring your friends over, let's play Lego. I mean, like it was an all hands on deck kind of thing. Or?
So the thing about when certainly my kids have helped a lot. They really enjoy building Lego, especially the sets.
Yeah.
The custom stuff is a little less, but but the thing about it is at some point, I tell my kids, it's like, you can't play with these. These aren't toys, but they kind of are toys.
They kind of are. Yeah. It's like,
but these are,
but they're in the toy section at the store, Dad.
Yeah. That's where you got them from. So, but no, this is for Bricktown display. So.
Right. These are serious toys, kids.
But and my kids have been great. Maverick and Lewis and Penelope. They each have the boys have a Lego set, and the girl and Penelope has her Lego collection. And so sometimes I would need a piece, and I'd be like, "Let me go into your room. I'm gonna get a piece, and you can come to the office, and I'll give you 2 pieces."
All right, you do a little bartering.
A little bartering with them. Yeah,
I'm surprised it didn't work out, like getting out of chores and things like that. It's like 2 pieces.
No,
that'll cost you not vacuuming or not whatever.
No.
They'll get that entrepreneurial thing and give them a couple years.
They'll get that.
Your training's going to get more expensive.
I hope they're not listening right now. You just got me into big trouble.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but their training will get more expensive just over time. But I'm also guessing too that you're probably instilling the bug. So when Grandpappy Roebuck is sitting here on the porch,
sure,
his kids and grandkids will be also into Legos and things. That might, that'd be pretty cool when, your kids bring their kids over and everyone's playing Lego, and your kids are probably taking whatever passion you got to that level.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. And then you're going to be telling them, man, if I had those parts back in 2022, I'd been so easy to build the Bricktown. That's kind of cool, though. I like that.
Yeah, so, but also to Matt Bromley, he's a local Lego artist who's done a lot of work with us. All my staff, have built things.
They
so
all get
a lot of. It takes basically, if you think about it, it takes roughly, for an experienced builder using plans, not designing by themselves. It takes them. It takes about 250 pieces an hour.
Okay. So
that's I'm not going to do math for you because that's always a bad idea. But
that's the reason I'm in radio.
You take 250,000 Legos, and it's a lot of hours.
That is a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours into that thing. So I don't even want to think about it really.
But I imagine, but it can be fun at the same time.
Oh,
too.
it is.
That's the thing. It's
making movies is fun. Doing Christmas Railway, everything we do is fun. So that's nothing new for us.
Sure, but yeah, you're right. You just it's. Well, and this is where the creative side thing is, because if you're not creative, you see basically a pile of 100,000 Lego bricks. Some people are going to be like, what a mess to clean up. Others are like, dude, I can. And that's the difference. We're creative types. We
keep them organized.
But I mean, if you just walked in a random pile of Legos
and there was 100,000, I'd turn around and walk out if they weren't organized.
The creative type's like, dude, let's see what we can make with this, and start where the non-creative type's like, all right, I'm calling a guy to clean that.
Sure.
And that's where it's so amazing is because you get to take that
I think
vision.
the thing about Legos is that because it scratches both kinds of creativity. If you're an engineer and you're not necessarily a free thinker kind of thing.
Yeah, you don't care what color the bricks are. You're looking about structure.
You're looking at structure, or you're following the plans. You're following the instructions, and so it can be very fast. It can really scratch that part of your brain itch.
Sure.
Or if you just want to grab a random pile of Legos and just start.
Sure.
Doing.
So
something.
if you're very structured and meticulous,
yes,
it scratches that itch.
I think that's the core. That's part of the core popularity of Legos.
Yeah. And
it also is the other thing too. It's that kind of thing where you get instant results, right? You start seeing it come together.
Yeah.
And I really on some of these they have a some of these sets are pretty expensive. We've got a couple of roller coasters. We put a roller coaster together, and part of it is it's like seeing how do they come up with it. And this is like a roller coaster that the cart actually
it's moving. Yeah, the kinetic stuff's in
it's got kinetic stuff, and so it's like wow, it's pretty amazing. So. Yeah, you get the engineering. I think part of it's fun as well for some people, but some people just like the art and the creativity part of it.
It's kind of like that the board game Mousetrap. I loved building that thing and seeing if I could get it all the way to the end and everything else. And every once in a while, the old man would miss the bathtub or something like that. But when you nailed it, it was like, you're
dating yourself
a little bit.
Your audience probably knows about Mousetrap.
Yeah,
that was a great game.
It was. I'm surprised it's still not available in stores. Maybe like Clue and all those.
It'll come back.
Yeah, maybe too many people lose all the parts. That's the problem. Is too many parts. But so give hours of operation and all the. But if people want to come by and start seeing Bricktown here.
Yeah, Bricktown. It's in the corner of Second and Virginia.
Yeah, right downtown here.
It is open through Memorial Day. Then it's going to be closed for a week and a half.
Labor Day, you mean?
I'm sorry. Thank you. Labor Day. Yes. Yeah. Here coming up. So we'll have our last summer hurrah. It's got to be closed. we got to tear it down and put it back up again because there's an event that was scheduled in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much of it can you just move?
We're gonna find out. As much as possible. I mean, the models themselves, of course, move relatively.
Sure.
I would say relatively easily. So It's all the landscaping, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that you don't think about too is that building a Lego model is one thing, and I know a lot of your audience has because a lot of people do.
Sure.
Then all of a sudden, how do you bring all these different Lego models together to tell a story? I think that's the part where we really have fun and we enjoy. Our creative part is that okay, how do we use these things to tell a story and narrative that people are excited about? The other thing people do too is that we have a scavenger hunt, and it's like find the coffee cup.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like 50 things on it, and it's amazing. People they want to check everything off that list.
Well, and to me that scratches another fun itch. It's kind of like for folks that don't know, like when you go to Disney World and you go down the Main Street Park for folks. Go online before you ever go there and look at all the hidden gems, little hidden Easter eggs and things.
Sure,
There's so many of those. And this sounds like it's got that same vibe to it where you're like, go down to the alien text down by that building and look for the thing in the window or whatever it is. So to me, that's another itch that gets scratched because I love that's half the fun when I go to Main Street. Like,
so much detail.
Where's
detail.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. A lot of magic making, whether it's film or attractions or model building, it's detail. And we love, as humans, we love detail. We love those layers and layers. And
well, that's what sells us in the story. You know what I mean? Our imaginations buy the story better when it's got detail to it and gives it that three-dimensional look and feel to it.
Yeah, so it's open daily. I think the hours right now are probably 9 to 6.
Okay, through Labor Day weekend.
Through Labor Day weekend. Then the hours are probably, then they'll be closed for a couple weeks, and then we'll be back open again.
Good deal.
But come this week. I mean, last hurrah for summer. Come check it out.
Yeah.
So it's about depending on how much you like detail. So there's the big display, the Bricktown Alien Attack. There is the Pirates. There is the Apollo display. There is what I call world buildings, which is just a collection of models.
Gotcha.
Of like the Coliseum and
iconic
Yeah, Big
structures,
Ben,
Taj Mahal, things like
Taj
that.
Mahal.
Yeah. Okay.
Is one of them. We have the Titanic,
Oh,
which is
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's 9,000 pieces. I put that one together. It's and then my team put the lights on it, but it's pretty fun.
Nice.
It doesn't sink. So everybody asks me, "Does your Titanic sink?" No, it doesn't
Well,
sink. It just sits there and looks pretty.
He hasn't tested the seaworthiness of it, to be honest.
No, yeah.
You know what that makes me kind of want to give it? Remember G.I. Joe,
Oh yeah.
the aircraft carrier?
Oh.
You know how coveted that toy was as a kid?
Yeah.
And we all had like one friend that maybe kind of had it, you know, the rich friend that had it. But to me, like they should recreate that in Lego.
Lego.
The G.I. Joe.
I'm sure it's been done.
Aircraft carrier.
I'm sure it's been done. Yeah. Yeah, and so that, and then we have a train display.
Nice.
We have probably about 12 different Lego trains.
Nice
on display. So yeah, so it's good. We have some interactive elements right now where you push buttons and it plays sounds and music and the aliens talk and stuff like that. So it's fun like that.
Kids at heart are going to love this.
Oh
thing.
yeah, absolutely.
And just if you're looking just to have a little
it's
some
about,
fun.
Yeah, like I said, if you're going to do it fast, that's about 30 minutes. I'd say the average group takes about 45 minutes to an hour.
Good deal.
Some people, if you're really into Legos, you'll probably spend more longer than that.
Sure.
So, and of course, we have a gift shop where you can buy buy Legos on the way out too.
Well, you got to get your first starter kit to get bit. You know, if you bring say that child in for the first time, and you know now they're old enough to and responsible enough to have Legos. I know that those are part chewing issues there when they're that age, but once they are make their first.
Legos are good for you.
Yeah,
part of this balanced breakfast.
Absolutely. Well, to be honest, I think it lets you figure out more about your kid. Like, all right, is your kid trying to follow the instructions to a T? Is your kid just building whatever comes to their creative mind, whatever it is? But you kind of, I think it's almost like let's see what your child's into, and it might give you a little bit of insight there. Just see how. Don't give them any instructions. Just say, here you go, play with it, and see what they do with it.
Yeah. So lots of fun. Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. Of course, another thing we got to gear up here in the Christmas time here, the Roswell Christmas Railway. Of course, some big changes, I guess you could say, to this year as far as put it this way: don't go to the zoo.
Yeah, don't go to the zoo. I mean, please go to the zoo.
Go to the zoo, but if you're going there for Christmas Railway,
we won't be there.
You're going to be like, man, it's kind of sparse this year.
So this is going to be our 7th year doing Christmas Railway.
Yeah.
Man, what an honor it's been to be a part of so many traditions. About a year ago, we started looking for what I call a permanent home for Christmas.
You kind of outgrew the zoo.
We have, there's a couple. The first, I want to say this: the zoo is awesome.
Yeah.
We love the zoo. The zoo staff has been fantastic over the 6 years we've been there. They've been over backwards to help us make that happen.
Yeah.
And we certainly couldn't have gotten it started without all the work that they put into.
They made it successful for you guys.
Absolutely. They were critical partners. But about maybe a year and a half ago, there are a couple issues at the zoo that are outside the control of the zoo staff. One is parking. Mm-hmm. If you've ever been on a busy night, and most of our nights are busy.
And they got a pretty decent sized lot there, but the Christmas Railway puts it to the test.
We do put it to the test. And so as we've grown, people want to stay longer. And so that means the parking lot stays fuller and that we don't turn over the parking spots.
These are all good problems to have.
Yeah, good problems, absolutely. So parking has been an issue out there. The other thing, too, that I think, that's one thing I think people will. So I guess maybe to say, we're moving to the fairgrounds.
Yes, where they have plenty of space for parking and things out there. Yeah,
that's kind of where we landed, and because again, and that's the other thing too is that we had to set it up and tear it down, and because there's no storage on site, we had to move most everything off-site.
So you can keep some of this stuff on site there now. Okay.
So we've worked out a deal with the fair board to take care of storage on site and stuff like that, which helps us make the event better. So we got better parking. Obviously, from a logistical standpoint, that's better. The other thing too was that coldness. A little bit of cold is fun. A lot of cold is no fun for Christmas Railway. And
so you got a lot more indoor facilities available.
Yeah, so we'll probably be about half and half. Obviously, people like being outside at Christmas time.
Sure,
it's
part of the spirit.
But we definitely have a lot more indoor space.
When you had enough spirit of coldness, you want to get in and warm up, and now they got places to do that.
Probably about half of the stuff will be inside. A lot of the kid areas, especially, will be inside, so kids can play longer. And and we're really excited about to be able to provide that, because that was one of the big issues we had. Or if it happens to be, we obviously December, it doesn't rain a lot, or it doesn't, but there are occasionally some windstorms in December.
It does happen.
And so it provides a place for, people buy tickets in advance. They don't know what the weather's going to be like. And
Sure.
so, we want to be able to still provide a good experience. So
Equally have a good time regardless if it's blizzard or not.
Yeah. And that's a great thing to have that indoor space for that.
Plus, I imagine it gives you guys an opportunity to maybe implement some things that probably just didn't work out at the zoo.
Absolutely. So,
that you're saying, now that we're here, we can implement these things that we wanted to try a couple years ago, but we couldn't. So it probably gives you a little bit more free play on what
there's more space there, certainly. Yeah. And if you think about the the zoo, John Wright's out there. He's been there for about a year now. The zoo director, he's great. He's fantastic. He's got a vision for that zoo, and they're going to eventually start squeezing the space that we were using out there.
Gotcha.
And which I'm excited about.
Well,
as someone who's in the tourist industry, we need as many things.
Sure.
People
Well, there's a
as
master
possible.
plan out at that zoo, and at this point, you guys are getting in the way of their master plan, and you guys were just outgrowing that facility at the end of the day. So it's still a beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
It's a great
absolutely.
thing. It's
we want
just
people to go to the zoo.
they kind of outgrew each other at that point,
And
that's
so at the fairgrounds, they have the zoo's open year round now, which is great. The fairgrounds, they have the fair during the year, and they have stuff going on there all year round. Not necessarily as big as the zoo,
Right.
As big as the fair, excuse me, but they also have a lot of space out there, and that gives us the ability to do some things that are permanent. That's not going to get into their way to their day-to-day operations. So
Sure.
we're excited about that.
I
Now,
think the only thing that kind of I would miss is the little pond out there. If you could somehow bring the zoo pond,
we could
move it to the fairground.
We'll make a better one, but no. The thing that you will miss this year is that, of course, there's no train.
It's true.
There's no train, and this year we're gonna be doing some version of hay rides.
Okay.
But we are working with the zoo.
Is the miniature train folks going to be hanging around during the Christmas rail? Because they're right there in the facility. I feel like that's a good little partnership.
Yeah,
there.
we might bring in a trackless train.
Okay.
Especially for the littles.
Okay. Yeah, the model, that's one of my favorite things at the fair each year. Go check it out at this year's fair, but that's kind of their home base is right there at the fairground.
Yep,
so.
right in the education building. Yeah. So we'll do that for this year to have that fun ride experience.
Cool.
We'll have that out there. But the reality is most people come to and then we are working with the fair board to at some time in the next hopefully year, probably 2, to put in a permanent train.
Cool.
So we will get back.
So the train will be coming.
We're not changing the name. We're not changing the name from Roswell Christmas Railway. So train is coming. But
good deal.
But the reality is when people come to the Christmas Railway, they spend, the average group spends about an hour and a half to 2 hours there.
Okay.
That's only 15 minutes of that's on the train. So,
yeah, the train's usually your vessel to get in and out of the railway for most people, and that's the only time you ride it. The rest of the time you're down in the village or doing your thing.
One thing that we're working on, and none obviously none of the stuff is official yet because it's not, but we have the option to use live animals.
Okay.
We didn't have that option at the zoo because to protect the curated group there, you can't just bring in the other animals.
Yeah, you just can't show up with a dog or something or a llama.
Yeah. So we're looking at possibly living nativity.
Okay.
We're looking at reindeer. We're looking at all kinds of fun stuff. So again, some of these things might not happen this year, but that is something
that's the vision down the road.
It opens up for that, which is great.
And I imagine too with the train part, if that's going to be a permanent structure, that'll be very useful for the fair as much as it would be for the railway at Christmas time.
Without getting into a lot of details, we're talking about doing some things year round with the fairgrounds. So that's
more year-round partnership.
Yeah, that's the longer vision. If you look at the fair. The fair has a mission of promoting agriculture, and promoting our Western heritage. That's kind of their mission in a nutshell. But what their economic engine, what drives them, is they're a platform for events. The fair is one big event,
absolutely.
But then they have different events throughout the year, and what we do is we create events and attractions.
Yeah,
and so it is a really good partnership, and we are excited. We need to land the Christmas Railway there this year, but there are definitely.
So I'm guessing
people are already buzzing about different ideas. So
I imagine, yeah, you're probably going to have projects down the road directly with the fair, where you're maybe some of your Bricktown or things like this might show up at the actual fair.
Absolutely,
as a display as part of the fair each year. Maybe be an attraction to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair or whatever fair that's happened to be happening at the time.
Yeah, so we're really hoping for a good partnership. You got great leadership out at the fair. It's a good group of people there on the board, and they all want to make Roswell better, and we want to make Roswell better. And so, we are excited to hopefully, obviously Christmas Railway is a big thing that we do for families in Roswell, and we are excited to work with them to hopefully in the future, if we can get Christmas Railway there and get that working well, then have the opportunity to do more family attractions and events to really, serve the community and also serve tourists too.
Absolutely. But when you start reserving your spots for this year's Roswell Christmas Railway here in a couple months,
don't drive to the zoo.
Don't go to the zoo. Understand it's going to be out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, which for many that's going to now there's a lot more parking out there. I mean, it accommodates the fair everywhere. There's every year they literally have hundreds of cars that are parked out there at a given time. So thousands.
Yeah.
So no problem accommodating all
the
that
fair,
stuff.
And I'm kind of grabbing numbers that I'm not sure, but a busy fair night is probably 5,000 plus.
Ooh.
That's a busy fair night.
Yeah.
When we have over 1,000 at Christmas Railway, parking's a disaster.
Right. Now it'll barely make a dent. Yeah, that's great.
Now I have plenty of capacity there, so that's great. So we're excited about it. We're thrilled with the fair. I cannot. We're a for-profit business, and I think it works for Christmas Railway to keep it going. But certainly, I cannot mention the Christmas Railway without I did the math, or I didn't do the math. I counted them. A couple days ago.
Do math.
I don't do math. Stay away from that. And we've had 50 sponsors over the 6 years, and most of those are multi-year sponsors.
Sure.
And just the support from the community has been tremendous.
Yeah. It's a great product, and people believe in it, and they want that. And it's something that I think, like you said way back years ago when you envisioned this, it's something that this community needs. We needed our own Christmas tradition, our own place where we can call Roswell, and you created that. I remember you
and a small army of.
but it was your vision, and all these people. I don't know how you got them on board, but got them on board to see your vision.
Sure.
And
I have a nice wife. She made cookies.
Yeah, she's really good at cookies. But that's what I think I love about it is it's really just a concept you guys came with, and now here we are. It is now what you envisioned it to be, a kind of staple for Christmas time.
It's tradition for so many
in
people.
Roswell. Tradition.
What an honor to be part of all those family traditions, the holidays. At Christmas time, we really take it seriously. We take our fun very seriously. But so we're excited for this year. We've been working on it for at least a month already, and.
So that being said, it's never too early if you're a business or organization want to get in on
we'll be talking
this year's Christmas Railway.
We'll be talking to you.
I know it's end of August here, but it's not too early to start talking about that.
We will, and we have a group of really supportive sponsors.
Good.
So we're excited about that. Yeah, so Christmas Railway this year, it's going to be great at the fairgrounds. Other new stuff coming up. We're trying to do at the Christmas this year. We're going to be doing an immersion room.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that, but maybe the most famous one that's kind of been in the news a little bit is there's a Van Gogh one.
Yes, the one in Albuquerque. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We're probably not as large as theirs, but something along those lines. So we're working on doing that to do storytelling.
It takes a while to get Van Gogh money at this point.
Yeah. And I mentioned we're trying to bring in some live animals, and so that'll be exciting. Ooh. So a lot of fun opportunities. Working with some more some of our downtown merchants to now that we have, that's the other thing too, now that we have indoor space, we can secure merchandise, probably have some more shopping than we normally do. So it's going to be great.
Well, and your business is a business that enhances the businesses around your business. People come to see Bricktown.
That's amazing logic.
But people are coming, you're the destination. And then while they're there, they're like, oh, let's go get something to eat right on the corner here. Or let's go shop in that store right up the street here.
We survey we survey our customers every year, and for the past 4 years we've been doing it, and we're really proud. I'm proud of my team. Of course, we do this with families. About 30% of our audience is from out of county, and maybe 10% from out of state.
Helps that lodger's tax monies
It does,
and things.
and the direct economic impact over the 4 years we've been measuring has been $1.3 million of money spent in Roswell from out of towners during the Christmas Railway.
Nice.
People come in. We ask them, do you spend money on gas? Do you spend money on a hotel? They ask them,
Yeah.
And so,
well, this is probably your
bringing
advantage
revenue,
of
yeah.
serving on city council. Now you kind of know where to look for those tracks, and you kind of, you know what I mean? You can actually use that information to not only enhance your business, but enhance the businesses around you. And it's amazing thing.
Well, it's important. We have to work together. You know, we have to work as a community, work together.
This is how it's supposed to be.
In our downtown community, the merchants, we have got some really great merchants. Some if you haven't been downtown in a while, some new places opened up.
Absolutely.
On the north end.
Yeah.
Right on 5th Street, there in the corner. There's a new furniture store there.
Yeah.
And a paint shop, like a craft paint shop. Very cool. You guys check them out if you haven't been downtown in a while. But the downtown community, especially, the merchants down there really working together. And there's some people putting some really. It's fun because you get to see you talk about the different people coming together, and there's people who are putting their heart and soul into these businesses.
Sure.
And they're really coming.
Their passions.
They're coming with some really creative things, and so hopefully we continue to trend that direction. As the Christmas Railway, we certainly want to be supporting that.
Absolutely. And obviously, we'll as we get close to the event, we'll talk more and more about it here.
Sure.
But in the meantime, you got through the Labor Day weekend to check out Bricktown here, and then it's going to close up for a little bit.
It'll bump back.
But if you want to see it right now, you got through the weekend to get that done.
Go check it out. Go check it out this weekend.
Hey, come and let your inner kid
absolutely
flag fly and have some fun there.
Absolutely.
And then of course. As we get closer to Roswell Christmas Railway, we'll start getting the pertinent details and dates. But it'll be out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Its new home, beginning here in 2022.
Absolutely,
so,
yep.
Good deal. Well, thank you, sir.
All right. We didn't even talk about politics.
Yeah.
How great was that?
Well, I'm very much happy about that. I rather talk about fun things. So.
Absolutely.
But thank you, Jake.
Hey, good to be here, man.
We'll see you next time,
All
okay?
right.